think in my view, proper planning was very much key. Proper planning, the right amount of people with the right amount of skills is very important, and ABB has mobilized an international team to achieve this between an Italian section of the team, German section, and our South African team here. And I think to bring the right resources, and we had also people from India there, so it was a very multinational team we provided basically to ESCOM. So that was one of the challenges, and I think proper planning and progress tracking is one of the things. So ESCOM, I think ESCOM provided this project to ABB because of our schedule. So the schedule, because of the late entry to the project, was critical to ESCOM, and I think was a decisive factor for providing or giving ABB the confidence to execute this automation project for ESCOM. And this was, I think, the decisive factor for them. And so proper planning, the right amount of resources and skill set. And so we had a massive amount of engineering work to be done in this beginning. So we started basically in March 2015. And we had the first factory acceptance test where we test first on the unit control system. We tested in, I think, September 2015. So we had only 6 months time to do a lot of engineering work. We were chasing 10,000s of engineering documents. For example, you need also a document control system if you want to manage this amount of information flow, the amount of documentation you have to produce, the amount of people working commonly. You have to have the right tools as well, the common database, otherwise you cannot handle all of this together. So that is one other aspect I think is very important to make this successful. So we passed the unit FAT, I think in September, and then in December we had the FAT for the balance of plant. I think you have been also with us. And the balance of plant is a very large area, which is the common plant part for providing common services to all the 6 units which you have at this facility. And then basically we completed design, and same time what was the other challenge, we had to start already construction. So everything which was related to construction, we had already to do engineering work, construction engineering, planning for that, in parallel to doing engineering of the logic, how the plant would actually operate, which is a key piece of the automation system. And basically after that, we also got, let me say, some acceleration, let me say, from ESCOM. So they, let me say, gave us, in addition to our already challenging schedule, let me say they incentivized us to be even faster from a schedule point of view. So that happened somehow in the first part of 2016. And so we had a massive amount of construction. We ramped up, I think, our amount of blue-collar people in the range of from 200, which was originally planned, to probably 550 in this range, which also our project director was showing you in the presentation. I think that amount of massive people, and then actually we completed the construction, or the bulk of the construction, we could say middle of last year. And then gradually, of course, when the construction is progressing, you also start with the commissioning. Basically, you have to take all the loops into service, all the instrumentation. From the instrumentation, you bring it into the control system through the cabling. You have to check all of these connections. That's what is called loop checking, wiring checking. And then you start to test the functionality. First, you test the cold functionality without basically the system actually running. You test whether the motor is reacting, and whether you see this on the screen of your operator station. And then you start to do hot commissioning. Basically, you test the system as it really working. You activate the process. And then after that, we went into until December, end of December, the unit was synchronized. So basically, first time the unit is actually generating power for the grid. So you close the main breaker and you generate power for the grid. That happened end of December, was a milestone really for ESCOM and for ABB. So that was closed in December last year. And now today we are in optimization phase for the first unit. So it means you have to optimize everything. And I think the first power we generated was maybe in the range of 80 megawatt. And now this power plant, this first unit, can produce 800 megawatt. And then in a couple of months, I think we achieved with all the, let me say, you have to verify everything. That is called hot commissioning and actually optimization. That we finalized basically not now, but the plan is probably to finalize now in the next 2 months. So roughly speaking, then the plant would be handed over to ESCOM. So that would be the final stage for unit number 1. Yes, I mean that is, but I think this is something to manage, because they have separated also operation facilities, which will be at the end aggregated into one common control room. But right now you can control separately the unit number 1 So they can do their control, and even during commissioning time, there's also a very strict handover procedure you have to respect, because you're already generating power at the end of the day, yeah, and the systems are active. But I think that is something you can manage actually, and in parallel to Unit 1, of course, the construction already of Unit 2 was also ongoing. So it's from a managerial aspect, it's a very big challenge, this project, for ABB, but also for ESCOM. Because ESCOM has, I think, around about 50 main contractors on this project, next to ABB, and you have to make sure that all of these 50 activities, are coordinated between your boiler, between your turbine, between your flue gas cleaning, between your control system, between your electrical contractor, and so on. So all of this has to be coordinated. So the amount of coordination for us is already immense, but for ESCOM is on another level, if you like, because they have to build the whole plant.